What is up, and welcome to another Loose Beats, where we chill out and make a beat. I'm Toby, aka Cushing, from the T&D YouTube channel. Make sure you check out everything we do. And today we got a new beat for you called Your Mom's House.
Cause you know shit get crazy at your mom's house.
And this is actually one I made on my live streams. I do them every other Sunday if you want to check those out. And then I do a stream with Davey every other Monday. And we get into some crazy beats. This is one that came out of it, and I'll go ahead and show you a little sample. Yeah, so that's our main drop in this. It's a nice little trap beat, kind of slowed down though, stoner vibe kind of trap beat. And we'll start breaking this down. Let's see, first let's start with our piccolo up here, which is doing our main melody. It's got a couple different variations when we change the key, but you can see down here in the MIDI what it's doing. Got up these high ones to a little accent. A little key change. And the piccolo seems to work better than a lot of these other, like the flutes, oboes, stuff like that. They have a little latency with their triggering, to sound more natural. The piccolo, and if you see all my velocities are matched up too, it seems to help a little bit with the triggering and keeping it on point. But piccolo is always a go-to for me, and it's got a fun little sound to it. It's very haunting, but we got these little melodies working through, and then I accent it here with the grand piano running through that same melody, but in a lower octave. I actually like the melody. It's pretty simple, and I don't know, for those trap melodies, they always come out really good with some octave jumping during the melody. It always seems to come out good if you're using any kind of woodwind or anything like that. But with that melody going together, we got this nice little intro that we can lead in with. The piano brings out some of those deeper hits, So it's a perfect little start, This is something you could go back on and put a filter on, some effects on, and really bring that sound out a little bit. But a perfect little bass for your melody. And then we got a couple different things going on with this beat intro. So first off, we got this sample right here that was pulled from Arcade, which I'll show you in a moment. And using these samples, it's kind of hard to get those key changes, if you notice, right halfway through. So let me show you what Arcade is looking like. Arcade is no sponsorship shit, but I like to use their samples to kind of get me started or to add something extra in the background. So you've got like this run through. See, it starts in B minor, and so you've got all these different collection of samples, They kind of find ones that accent each other and sound good together, And so I found one in this our sample right there. And in that B minor, it's perfect. So you're hearing that with this, say, with the piccolo piano. Actually, let's go with the piccolo piano and then that arcade sample there. See how it's hitting, see, in this actual sample, if you notice, that key change wasn't right, and it wasn't in the right place either, but it wasn't the right step that I was actually doing in the song. And so it got a little weird, and I had to figure out, because I wanted to use that so bad, and because it sounded so perfect when it was in key and at the right time. So what I had to do was take this arcade sample, this first half, the part that was in key, and just sound right with everything. And it has that little drop off there with the echo going on. It just sounded so good. And so I had to go in, and basically I pulled down this sample. I cut it off where it had that change halfway through, right at this 3 mark here. And instead of having that change, I repeated this first line. So I bounced it down, cut it in half, repeated this first line. And so that was this first part of the sample. And then the second part, I had to go down and create another arcade. But this time I put it in E minor instead of B minor, right? So now when we hit the sample, well, when it's not muted, now we have it into our actual key change, right? We have it to that E minor, but it's still going to have that weird second one. So when you find a sample you like right there, like that, you know, it's a lot of work you got to do. So I had to go in and I cut it in half, doubled it up, bounced it down, and then joined it with this other one. So now we've got a full B minor to E minor change. That's all in time. I mean, it sounds simple enough, and it doesn't sound like much, but, you know, when you find a sample that works with your song, sometimes it's worth taking that extra little time and making sure everything clicks right with it, right? So we've got that working in, and so I've got this all bounced down together. And now on to part of our beat, right? So another interesting thing happened with this beat. I was using this interchange. Here it is here in your Drum Machine Designer. It's a preset kit. Pretty typical electronic bass kit. Little clap and rim shot here and there. But so basically we took this kit and then we set it up, and then sometimes when these drum machines are set up and then they get, you know, like you take something off or you adjust something and then you don't save it and it auto saves. There's a lot of things that can kind of trigger it wrong, and I don't know why it happens. And sometimes it can't process it fast enough and it plays it a little weird, as you've heard in other songs I've done. And so our actual beat is played right here. So if you listen to the live beat, the stream, you're going to hear this beat, which is a nice little, we just got our hits, and we got a little tambourine as our hi-hat, and then we got a rim shot as our snare. So it's a nice little rocking kind of thing, a little rocking back and forth feel. And so when it didn't save it right here, it saved it triggering some different samples as in the beat, right? And then it wasn't processing it, so it kind of came out weird. So I rolled with it, added a little inverb on there, and then bounced it down into another track, and it came out like this. Very weird, like very kind of irky. It reminds me of like when songs will use the spring in the bed sounds like kind of reminds me of something like that, but it's squishy, kind of sounds underwater, and because it was triggering like a piano this off time, it didn't trigger all the same notes that I'd originally made. So leaned into it, kept that as kind of a background for our beat. So if you hear these together and hear it come in, that is just kind of your intro to the beat. And then, but keeping it there, I think it turned out to be a cool little sound. It's pretty original sound to me. It came out freaky. And again, it's one of those things when you find something that works, you don't stray away from it, even if it's going to be extra hard to implement. And so we've got all this set up, running into our main beat here, which just turned out weird. Sometimes it just comes out weird. It doesn't always do it for you, right? And then lastly, on this one, we have our 808s that come in, right? So we've got this. I've been using this quick sampler on Logic. It's not my favorite, but it does work. And it's real simple. I don't fuck with it like at all. And I just load in my 808s from some packs that you can find. And that actual Logic doesn't come. They come with some that are loaded into drum packs, but they don't have a long list of 808s like you probably would want. And so this is one that I found just online, just a deep booming, not too speaker broken rattling sound like I like, I like that bit crushed. This one's more clean. It's more clean and just straight sub sound. And then so if you see on the MIDI down here, we just have this typical kind of bouncy way to transition into notes, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just coming in hot and heavy, waiting to get to where it needs to be. And so that's pretty much this one. This one is another one that shit happens, and then you end up leaning in and figuring out what works, and came out to be your mom's house, and that's where we want to be, is at your mom's house, because shit goes down, right? And so this has been another Loose Beats, and I appreciate y'all showing up. And I'm going to go out on this song right now. And if y'all can, just like and subscribe. Leave some comments, tell me some new beats you want me to do. DM me if you like any beats, want to collab, anything like that. And just let us know what you think. Check out all the stuff on our page, Patreon. We do new shit all the time. And we love y'all. So going out on your mom's house.